popular Gwinnett County Park, where they frequently hold soccer and baseball tournaments for kids. The body discovered today near the baseball fields at Pinckneyville Park, which is just south of Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. Joe Hankey is live there tonight. Joe, police have any idea who may have shot him or the motive behind any of this?
Jeff, right now, Gwinnett County Police do not have any idea who shot the person or the motive behind this. Right now, they are working to still identify the man. Then they want to know how his body ended up in this overgrown ditch here in front of me. What police are saying tonight is they believe the man was killed today, and the circumstances around his death, those appear to be suspicious.
Hey, girl.
Sky the dog and her owner, Mario Galvez of Florida, are in the area to visit friends and decided to take a walk in Pinckneyville Park today. They did not expect to find a police investigation.
Yeah, shocked. Like I said, I've actually, this is as close as I've been to a scene like this before, so I wasn't expecting that on my first day in Atlanta.
Someone called 911 from the park this morning after a landscaper mowing the grass noticed a man's body in a ditch.
They're investigating the whole situation. It's not determined if it's a murder or suicide at this point.
Gwinnett County Police Officer Jay Brewer says police found the man with a single gunshot wound.
They determined the male was deceased and homicide was called out due to suspicious circumstances.
Those suspicious circumstances, which police are not elaborating on right now, are why detectives believe this might be a homicide. This afternoon, crime scene investigators could be seen collecting evidence from where the landscaper spotted the man's body.
It's just found in a ditch that is grown up, so it may have been difficult to see from the road.
Police also described the ditch as several feet deep, and near the man they found a backpack and a gun. Details on whether they found the gun in or next to the backpack are not being released at this time. Late this afternoon, a truck, police identified it as belonging to the man, was towed away. And as Sky and Mario finished their walk in the park today, they are unsure if they will be back.
My intention was to come here every day while I was here, so I'll wait and see whether it was suicide or homicide before I make that decision.
And tonight, Gwinnett County Police are using evidence collected here at the scene as well as the man's truck to hopefully identify him. An autopsy will be performed within the next day, I am told, and police are also working, once they identify the man, to contact his family. Anyone who was in the park this morning and believes they saw anything suspicious is being asked to contact the Gwinnett County Police Department. Reporting in Gwinnett County tonight, I'm Joe Hankey, 11 Alive News.
All right, Joe, thank you. We have